Welcome to the Sensual Canvas, a soft landing space where creativity flows and presence becomes art. This season, I'm joined by creators, feelers, and soulful storytellers, each exploring the richness of self-expression and sensual living. So take a deep breath in, settle in, and let's begin. I'm here today on the Sensual Canvas podcast to speak to my amazing friend, Tyler Madonna. Thank you so much for joining me today.
Thank you for inviting me.
You're such a beautiful person. I feel like when I'm around you, we just can talk for hours and hours. And then the kids come by and they're like, "Hey, Mom, what the heck is going on?" We're just like,
one more minute turns into 2 hours.
Seriously. So I feel like I'm so excited to talk to you today about, these topics about creativity and sensuality and self-expression, because I don't know if we've ever specifically talked about these things, but I mean, it'd just be fun to have this open conversation. So, yeah. And you're my first American guest, which is just wild.
Okay.
So I'll
take it. I like the label. I'll take it.
I'll be able to get the American perspective on being a mom of 2 twin boys and, maybe what it's like. Maybe we can start there. What's it like to be raising twin boys in the United States?
It's tough. Not only in the United States, but I feel like California, we move very fast. So to fight that is a very hard thing to do. And also try to be mindful that I'm raising gentlemen and not boys that are going to run through the world and wreak havoc, especially twins if they team up. But no, I feel like it's a challenge raising a girl or boys, twins, multiples. It just has its own ups and its downs, but it's definitely a challenge for sure. And especially trying to just, again, I really focus on the reality of life and what they're going to need to be a successful adult in society and be mindful of that. And I want them to be emotionally aware, I guess is what I'm trying to say, because I feel like the world needs that a lot right now. So if I can provide that, that's what I'm trying to do with my boys. So, but yeah, being a single mom of twins it's a full-time job.
I bet. Yeah. And in terms of sensuality, do you feel like you've already started? I know they're pretty young, or they're rather in their early
preteens.
Mm-hmm. So I mean, do you feel like you're already opening up the conversation about sensuality with them?
Yes, we have read books. We have already had all the conversations. I don't push too much, but I also am a very open book, and let's be real about it, because the way I was raised was half of that. And I want them to be aware at the end of the day and understand what's happening with their body and why they feel good when these things happen, or it feels weird, and is this normal and whatnot. So yeah, we've had all the fun conversations and as they're coming, I mean, they're going to continue to come. They're going to see, again, California, we live in a very fast world over here. And so, they're learning things that I didn't learn until I was older. But they're 10 and they know more than I did at that age because they're aware of it. So let's be honest about it and the right way to handle things. So yeah, open books. We've read the books. We've all of it.
That's so cool. I love that you have that approach, because it's not often that I come across a parent that is, so open to talk to their kids about these things. Mm-hmm. And same as you, I was raised very conservative, and it was hey, we're not going to talk about that, or we're kind of going to tone that down a little
Yeah.
bit. And it's like, okay, then I'll find my information another way. And
Yeah.
so, yeah, I'm so impressed with you, and the fact that these boys are already having these conversations like at such a young age, it surprises me. Like every time I hear from, young parents, they're like, yep, like they have access to like the internet and
So much.
so much different like outlets. And then their friends are also talking about these things like all nonchalant. So, I mean, how do you navigate that?
It's been really hard because I do see a big difference of how other parents are communicating with their kids, and I feel like I have a very open communication with my kids. So they'll come and tell me things that their friends are saying or they saw, or and they present it even in the wrong way, where it's like, that's not what that was supposed to be. They took that, it was a sensual thing or something, but it was out of context of what they're making it be. And so like the boys have come home and asked me about it, and I was like, no, that's not even correct. So I'm correcting you to then go correct your friends, to let them know, because clearly their parents are not. And I think a lot too, like some of these kids have older siblings, which I don't have that here at our home. So that was a little different, but like people have come over like, oh yeah, my brother and my sister, I saw them do this, or I saw them watch this, or they were talking about this, or, just things like that too, where it was just like, okay, like let's talk about that. Like, obviously they're talking to their friends about it, and trying to figure it out way. And so the boys have definitely come home. So I've noticed there's a difference of how other people are raising their children. And again, I was raised the same way as you, of, kind of dumb it down a little bit. And it did me no good. So if I can teach my kids, then maybe they can plant seeds in the world of, that domino effect of trying to make the right, have them tell the right things instead of, again, going and telling them the wrong information, kind of like what their friends are doing. And it's like, let's get the right information out there, right? Let's be honest about it.
Yeah, and
And
open.
let them,
So,
yeah. And then it's like they're going to grow up thinking that that's the way it should be, or what that was, or whatever the topic is. And it's like, that is also not, I don't want your brain to know that, because that's not correct. You know what I mean? How do we fix that?
yeah, definitely.
So it
How
is
do
a
we
challenge,
like
but
chart the course so that it's
mhm,
like in more of an aligned route, and you're like,
mhm.
yeah, this feels healthy and
Yeah,
that does not.
yes. Yes. And let's have the right knowledge. Let's call it what it is and be real about it. So I think that's my big approach. And my biggest thing, and I hope other parents are trying to provide this, but just the open communication. I think that's my biggest thing, is they come to me with everything. And I hope we hang on to that through high school, even in their 20s. I mean, I strayed away in my 20s, and I hope that they know that, mom will tell us, she'll tell us the right thing.
Yeah, that she's a
So
safe place.
yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
So tell me a little bit about your own sensuality. Like, what is the relationship to, like, firstly, I want to know, like, what does sensuality mean to you?
Hmm.
And how have you navigated like your own sensuality?
So I feel like I was raised knowing that this was a taboo kind of situation. So we didn't really, I knew that it was supposed to be with a man and a woman, and you were supposed to be married. And that was what I was taught to know. Right. And then anything outside of that was really like not. So to me, it was just like a very closed off chap, like it was closed off. There was no like, okay, this is what it's supposed to be. You're supposed to, like, when you have sex, we're laying in bed and it's missionary style all the day, like, don't move, is how I felt. And I'm just gonna be honest, like I came into this world not that is not who I am. So when you're telling me this as a kid, I was like, oh, I think I was raised religious. So I was like, I'm going to hell because I like to feel myself and masturbate, and it makes me happy and it makes me feel good. Like, why would you not want to do that? So to me, I was battling what I was being taught, but what I was feeling, which then in turn taught me not to trust myself because I wasn't trusting that this was okay to do. Which then turned me, I really got taught by porn, which I hate that I'm part of that. Those numbers that have come out of like most people get their, trying to figure things out from porn, which porn is good for what it's made for and it does what it needs to do. But I also feel like there's another side to what you're watching. And that to me is sensual. That's the part that brings you out and makes you feel good and all those feelings. And again, porn is there for a reason. And I still watch porn, and I don't think it's a bad thing. But I do think that there's another side to that. Like, it's not always what you're watching. Like, I want to connect with you. I want to feel who I'm with, my partner and whatnot. And that to me is what that means. So that's my little side story of how all this started.
I love it so much. Like there's this like I guess there's this narrative that like females, women, we don't watch porn. And it's so interesting to like in our society to just assume that it's only men that like watch porn. And like I grew up and I was just curious about it all. Like I wanted to see the anatomy books. I wanted to see like the videos of porn. I wanted to see like the educational books of just like sex and like all these different things. So I just allowed myself to consume all of it instead of just being like, oh, this is the only way that there is. I was just trying to like find out like, what does it mean to me type of thing. And so, yeah, one of those things you go into that, like that little bit of a rabbit hole of like pornography, and you're like, oh my God, like this gets really weird really fast.
Yeah,
and you're young and you're trying to navigate that. And you're like, why does this make me feel good? It's so like taboo and like all these things. But then you come to realize like you're not alone in this. Like there are so many people out there that have been, shamed like through their religion and through their culture and their just upbringing, that you can't help but be curious about the things that make you feel alive and like just good. So I know other women that are just like, yeah, I've watched porn, like it's not new to me. And then even just coming back to that sensuality piece, we can still watch that type of like content. It's just that that's not the only thing there is. The sensuality is huge. Like it plays a role in like how we show up when we watch porn or when we watch porn with our partner type of thing. So it's so cool to have this conversation like openly with you, because then it's like yes, women watch porn too.
Totally. And honestly, on another note of even just growing up watching porn, because that was my only outlet that I like, again, it was taboo, but I was still doing it. I appreciate a woman's body. Like that's another thing. And sometimes I wonder if that's why I kind of consider myself, I guess, in the bi department, because I've dated both. But I wonder if that's part of why, because I watched porn growing up and thinking this is what this was. And like the other side was this crazy religious way of thinking. And for me, it was just like, I wonder if that's why. But I even now, as like 41 years old, I look at people and I'm like, wow, she's just so beautiful. And, like, I feel bad that she's doing what she's doing, but it's like, that's how she's making her money. But like, I can appreciate that she's doing what she does. And maybe I feel like there might be some people out there that are like, enjoy that, like enjoy having sex on camera and maybe hopefully haven't gone through the dark side of what that brings, but I appreciate them in a different way of like, wow, you put your body out there for us to enjoy, and you're beautiful. And like, you know, I just see this other side too of women, um, of that side. And I wondered how much of that came from porn, because I watched it. I
Mm.
in those times of me really growing, I guess is what I'm trying to say. So my brain is triggered to that. But I don't know, it just makes me think too, like how much I appreciate women's bodies and how much we do a lot. Not trying to make this like a feminist thing either, because the men play a part also. Or not. But I just, you know, I just wonder that. I don't know. I
Yeah.
appreciate them.
It reminds me of it reminds me of my sister. And I remember like in her early 20s, she was just like openly like, hey, guess what, everyone? I'm gonna become a stripper. And we were just like, all right, like
You do it.
we do it. And it's so fascinating because she was going into it like with the mentality of like, this is a craft. This
Mm-hmm.
is something that you like, you would admire like an athletic, you
Mm-hmm.
know, football player or a soccer player or
Yep.
something like that. Like,
Mm-hmm.
why wouldn't you admire this like woman like dancing 9 hours like up and down this pole? Like, hey, like that is
It,
a craft as well. So
totally.
I can totally get like, and for me, it reminds me of like my art and like how I love to enhance like the visual of what I feel when I create like bodies. And
Mm-hmm.
just for me, like that's beautiful. Like
Mm-hmm.
just showing that off and not making it like, oh no, that's what we hide. Like
Yeah.
let's
Cover it up.
cover it up. Like even with like some of the work that I've done, for a little while I was painting like women in lingerie, and I'm
Mm,
like, I don't know if that's what I want to do. Like I really want to just like make it like very raw and open and
yeah.
just, you know, so
And you
navigating
felt
that
like the
too.
lingerie was hiding them?
Yeah. Like if it was
Interesting.
almost like a little bit of a male like construct that I was like,
Okay.
no, that's not how I really want to portray this series. You know, I
Okay.
just,
Okay.
it didn't make
Interesting. I
sense
like
to
that.
me.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm like, okay, if a woman is like out in like the fields with these wildflowers, like
Is
hell
she
yeah,
really going
she
to be
could be
wearing
bare ass
lingerie?
naked.
No, she's not. She's going to be naked.
Yeah, exactly. Like I want someone to look at her and feel like, damn, like I want to be her, like in the fields,
Oh,
naked.
I love that you even had that thought. Like that was such a like kind of thing of you. I just like I don't know, that just put me in a different perspective. And you know, to tap into what you were saying about your sister also, which then feeds into your art stuff also, like I have also had that thought, like if I didn't have kids and I was still single and doing, you know, me, I also had that thought of like, I would be really good at being like an escort or a stripper, or like, I would be really good at that. And I do think of it as like a form of art. Like, I'm going to put on a performance for you and you're going to love it. And we're going to have a great time and we're going to connect. But obviously, that's not what that is. But in my mind, I had that same thought, like, I could do this and I could be really good at it. Like,
Yes.
so I'm with your sister on that. Like, like we could do this. But yeah, there's also the other side that is not so pretty. So,
Yeah.
but I
And
appreciate that too.
I always like, I come back to like this narrative around like the divine feminine, because that's what it sounds like to me. Like
Mm-hmm.
women, I spoke recently with a friend and she was talking about how when she was younger, she used to have dreams that she was a stripper, like dancing. And she's
Oh.
like, and because my family, you know, like was very closed minded, very conservative, she's like, I thought it was wrong for me to have these dreams. And now that I think of it, like I'm like from an older perspective, I'm like, no, that's like the fire within us, like all of our women
Her trying to
essence
come out.
just wanting to be seen and lived and experienced just freely.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, that's so cool. Like,
yeah.
imagine having those dreams when you're a teenager, just like.
And I feel like I had maybe not dreams, but I feel like I felt that. Like, I know what she's feeling. I totally relate to that because it's like, I masturbated. And so for me, like, that was my thing, but my mom would like shame me. And so it's that same kind of, but I felt so good and alive and like, why are you telling me this is wrong? Like, I feel good when I do whatever I'm doing to my body and feeling myself. So again, you're right. It is, us trying to express ourselves, and we're always trying to put the top on us. And I'm glad that, in 2025, we can even have these conversations and like be open about it and not be scared anymore. So I appreciate you having this talk because, I'm bringing this all to light because I feel like this is what I've been wanting to talk about for so long and nobody has brought this out of me except for you, to be honest. So I appreciate you. Like, this is great. We have a place to go now and talk about it.
Yeah,
So
definitely.
that's awesome.
This is like exactly like I'm just trying to find my people. I'm trying to attract those people that want to have those conversations openly, that want to be a safe space for someone to just, share these types of things. So like the creativity aspect.
Yes.
We've talked about your little secret creativity.
Which one? No, I'm just kidding.
I think you know what I'm talking about.
I'm like, I've done a few things. Wait, you tell me which one you were talking about.
I was so fascinated when we were at lunch and you were like, oh, by the way, like I like to write erotica. And I'm like, what the fuck? I was like, yes, Tyler, I love it. And still, I'm so curious to like read your stuff, but tell me about that. Like, when did that start?
So that started when I was young. It was an outlet. I was very more creative when I was younger. I feel like I'm not as tapped in as I was before. So I would make collages, and all of a sudden I decided that I started writing, but it was more, the writing came like 16 into my 20s. And I just like, I was so, I guess I need to give you a little backstory. So I was kicked out at 17. I was still a junior in high school, so I had 2 more years to get through. I was couch surfing, just trying to figure it out. But I, for the first time, was trying to figure me out and break away from religion, my family, just trying to figure out who I am. You're in your early 20s, or your late teens, early 20s. That's a big time of self-discovery, right? Especially if you're out on your own and you're not living at home and you're just like, there's a whole world and what am I doing? Like, so I think I started writing stuff just because it was just in my brain and I was trying to like get this out. And I felt like back then I had stories, but this was obviously like 90s, 2000s. So things are changing. But I also have to give credit to a ex-boyfriend that I dated for 3 years. And he really just brought this other side out of me, that he allowed me to be who I was. If I wanted to explore in any direction, have a threesome, if I wanted to be with a girl, if, we went to fetish conventions, he used to be, a manager at a erotic store down in Hollywood. So like he was tapped into like these things, and we went to these, the Folsom Parade in San Francisco, and we did crazy stuff that I was like, oh my God. But it was also like eye-opening because it was like, oh my gosh. First off, all the porn I've been watching and like doing, I'm like, wow, this is like real. Like people do this like for real. And so then when I started getting to be able to explore that, he just brought this other, it was just like, okay, well, here we are. We're here. And then part of that was writing these stories. It was, some of them are my journeys that I'm like, I don't know that I want everybody to know them, but maybe now I don't care. It was so long ago, but some of them are my stories. And then some of them, they're just thoughts that have helped me get another side out of me. So it's not my story, but it's my story that I made up that made me like curious in a direction, or, you know, something that I thought was taboo and I can't really like, I don't want to do, but I have it in my mind and I want to put it on paper. I don't know. It just started kind of doing this. Again, I have all these little stories that I've started and not ever finished. And it would be amazing to one day put a book together, and just these little short things where it's like, wouldn't it be so nice if you could be just like laying in a hammock in your backyard and you're reading this little book, like, you know, just like little quick stories. And then all of a sudden you just find yourself like feeling yourself and touching yourself and just like feeling the sun on your skin. And, you know, maybe your partner comes in and joins in because they see that you're like feeling yourself. And I don't know, I just, wouldn't that be amazing to just have? And it was like a couple pages that you just read that got you like done, you know, like there's this thing, here it is. But you know, in the world that we live in now too, it's like you can get on apps, you can get on, you know, all the stories I feel like have been made. But you know, some of my private stories they're pretty fun. Like maybe they're not out there, I don't know. But yeah, I do have a creative side that I do wish that I could tap more into. Again, raising kids is a full-time job, so there's not a lot of creativity time going on. But yeah, it definitely is something that I like to do. And, you know, I have to say, you have inspired me with all your paintings, because I don't know if I showed you for Valentine's Day, I made those. It was a canvas that just said, I love you, but then I kissed it with lipstick in the middle. And I thought of you because I was like, oh my God, she's doing art. I'm going to do art. It's Valentine's Day. I don't have a date. Like, I'm going to just have fun, and like did it. And I did a couple of them. Like, could I sell these? Like, these are
Yes.
cute.
Oh my
Obviously, you
God.
can only put them up for Valentine's Day. Well, I guess not if it just says I love you. But, but yeah, you made me like want to, like, okay, let's get some paint out. Like, let's, and my kids are very creative, obviously not in a sensual way, but like they're creative. And so we have everything we can have. So why not pull that stuff out? And, you know, we had I had a, like a happy hour at my house, and I actually got all of those out, and they also made canvases with their own, like whatever they were feeling or whatever. And we were just like sipping on some, you know, stuff and eating some little munchies and just like having a fun paint session. So I have to say thank you to you because you've been inspiring me.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
That makes me so happy because like ultimately that is the energy that I want to put out. That this like isn't just like for a few people. Like creativity is for everyone. We're literally born creative to
Yep.
create our lives and create beautiful art and music and dance and all these different types of things that bring us to life.
Yep.
And so like to see that you just did that and then it made you feel so like just alive inside, that makes me so happy. That's so
I'm
beautiful.
watching you. Like, I'm watching you. I literally admire what you're doing because honestly, I feel like this is what I've been wanting to, not maybe this, you know, your scene, but like just I want to do what you're doing, and just see you doing it just makes me so proud of you. And so like, yes, you're planting those seeds and you're trying to like tap into it, what we've been all wanting to tap into, and you're being brave enough to do it and setting time apart to do it. So I very much am watching you. You're planting seeds for sure. So I definitely appreciate you.
Tyler, thank you. You're
Yeah.
so sweet, I swear. I I look at like this space that I imagine, And like I see like all these women like coming in, and actually just like individuals in general. When I envision it, it's like men, women, non-binary people just coming together and just being in this space of like creation where we can like put our phones to the side, where we could just be with each other and just have this like fun connection that I crave so badly. Like it's one thing for me to create my art like in my studio, and I'm like, okay, I'm putting it out there so that people know that I create this type of art. But then I'm like, what else do I want to create so that I can bring people into a safe space where we can do it together type of thing.
I love
And I think about like you sent me like you sent me a page some time ago of this like woman who brings people in to her studio, and she has them like lay on like right, they like
Yes,
lay
so
on poster paper, and she like
it's like
paints their bodies.
yep.
So cool.
So cool. And I was like, how simple is that? Like we could definitely be painting bodies and
Yeah.
then putting it on a canvas so that you can see it and put it up in your area that you want to be inspired or see that or turn somebody on or whatever. And that was the other part. That was right around Valentine's Day, I think, because that was when I did those canvas kiss things.
So
And it was
cool.
like all that energy. I was like, okay, we could be doing this. Like we could be having so much fun doing something like this. So I'm glad you got the same thing out of it.
Dude,
Like it
yes.
would be so fun.
For the longest time, like I've wanted to have these like workshops of some sort. I just didn't know like what specifically like I wanted to teach.
Yeah.
And you know, before I got really like really in tune with myself and started to trust like that this sensuality, this sexuality within me wasn't like a dirty word or wasn't like something to hide. I think before it was more like, oh, let's get together and do some crafts. You
Right.
know, it's like cutesy things. Oh, yeah, so kids can be involved. But then I'm realizing that like what I really love to do is connect like myself to others in that sensual like energy, that
Yep.
expansive adult
Mhm.
energy. And
Yep.
it's like, yes, we can do art and it doesn't have to be like a craft. It can be
Totally.
something that's like, you know, adult activities.
100%. And that was like kind of, I mean, yes, not the same with what you're talking about, but kind of the same idea as like having that happy hour and getting the art stuff out and just even just the stuff that we had in the house, it's just like get it out. And like obviously it didn't go that far, but that's to me just getting them started, right? But doing it in an adult way, doing it obviously no kids and all that stuff. But you're right, like finding space, being present, connecting, because I also feel like that is one of the things, at least in my present time right now, that I feel like I'm lacking in is that connection of I don't have to be having sex, but like this is fun. Like this is fun to talk about it and fun to talk about things that, get you going or get somebody else going or ideas that you guys have that we could put together. Like again, meet at some point and we could do those canvas paintings or, all that stuff. And it's just, I don't know, I feel like I'm lacking in that because I live in the kid world 24/7. So to have a place for me who is, again, single and in mom mode all the time, to have a place to go to have like these fun conversations and know what you're doing or try something new or whatever, because I feel like I'm lacking in that and you're actually giving space to that. And I think that that's really awesome. Because I feel like that's one of my things that I'm lacking in, like just being able to talk or again come to your studio and we do an art project together, whatever. I feel like that's so awesome that you're providing that.
Thank
So
you.
I hope, again, you're planting so many seeds in so many different directions. I'm so like, I can't wait.
The crazy thing is like I've like growing up, I was the cousin, I was the sister and the friend who was always like educating. I just wanted to open up the conversation. I
Yeah.
didn't want it to be like oh, you can't come to me with those things, because I'm just going to be like, yeah, here, I'll lay it out for you what I know.
Yeah.
And so the fact that I'm coming into this like version of myself, and I'm like, is anyone listening? Like,
Totally.
and I have people over for this? Like, it's like, yes, because there is like people out there that want this. And then also, like, we need it. Like, it is like
Part of our
essential for just
DNA.
like our human energy, like expands with this type of energy. I
Totally.
think that our systems have done such a good job at like keeping us like
Contain.
down
Yep.
and disconnected, so that it can just be easier to control people.
Mm-hmm.
And the moment we like detach ourselves from that, it's like, oh my gosh, I'm unstoppable. Like,
Yeah.
feel my
You feel
expansion.
alive. You just feel alive. And you're so right. We are so pushed down that it's like when you do have these moments, like, oh my God, this probably is gonna be like the highlight of my day, because we got to like have these conversations and do all this stuff. But it's like, you're so right. We go back to being numb and get through the day and whatever we got to do, and don't talk and don't do too much, because you might do, it's so I'm so proud of you. Like, you're really doing it, dude. You're talking the talk, you're walking the walk. I love this.
Thank you. And the whole point is to like, again, like when I up level, I bring people with me. It's
Totally.
not like, oh, look at her like on this pedestal. It's like, no. Like, if you're like wanting to do this as well, like, let's come like together,
100%.
And it's like, I can continue to do my thing. I could be in my studio. I could be, living out like my beautiful expansive energy. But ultimately, it's gotten to a point where I'm like, I crave that community, and I crave that like connection to others and seeing how they express themselves.
Yep.
So I'm curious, self-expression, like, is there like another form of like self-expression that you do?
You mean just past like writing the books?
Yeah.
Art stuff?
Anything. I mean, for some people, it's like singing and dancing, and it's just like your own, like whatever you do for yourself.
That one's a hard one for me right now.
Mm.
I have to be honest, there's not a ton at the moment, just because I don't have a lot of downtime alone. So I don't tap into that as much as I would like to. Obviously, it's all in my brain and like whatnot, but I haven't, as far as like on the art side, like I need to do more. I need to open that door up, because you're right. I do feel more alive when even just doing that canvas kiss thing for Valentine's Day. Like, how stupid and simple was that? And it made me so happy. It just to do like, and then my mind started going. So I as far as that, like I haven't tapped in enough like I should be to do that. And then as far as just like being by myself and just being, I think I'm just trying to accept myself right now. I'm trying to just accept where I am in my life and where I'm going in my life. And this hopefully is going to help me keep moving. So I think I'm just happy with me. Like, I'm happy just being me. And that makes me like, I'm sexy. Like, I'm happy. Like, and I think the one thing that's getting me going right now is just self-talk, self-love right now. Like, looking yourself in the mirror while you're putting your makeup on, like literally looking at yourself in the eyes and being like, damn, you're fucking sexy at 41. Like, yeah. Like, I think that's what makes me happy. It's like I'm falling in love with myself, maybe for the first time ever, fully, maybe. But really just accepting where I am and feeling good in my skin, because I feel like, again, being pushed down for so many years. I'm 41. Like, that's a long time to kind of step in, but then step out for a long time, and then step in and then step back out. There's no balance to it for me. And I feel like I'm trying to find a balance, and me just loving who I am and loving my body. And, I had a little thought the other day. I was naked in the bathroom. That's my only time I have alone is in the bathroom if I lock all the doors, right? And so I'm like naked, getting out of the shower, and I'm like looking at myself. I'm like, fuck, I look hotter naked than I do with clothes on. Like, why do we even have to wear clothes? Because like I look horrible in these clothes that society makes for like people that don't look like me. If they don't, but like I look hot in the mirror. I also found, I hope this is not going off subject, but I also found this page of this lady on Instagram. And I really have been watching her too, because she posts these pictures of herself in bathing suits or doing whatever she's doing, surfing, it shows her going all over the place doing these really cool things. But she's in these 2-piece bathing suits and she has a body like mine. And her posts are like, I did this without losing weight. I did this without a diet plan. I did this without the 1-piece bathing suit. Like, I didn't wait to lose the weight to come and do this. And I was like, you know what? She's showing up. She's showing up. She's being present. She's being in the pictures. Because right now I feel like I'm avoiding pictures because I'm like, I don't know. But she's out there like in a 2-piece bathing suit with a stomach that looks pretty similar to mine. And she looks banging hot. Like, and I'm like, okay, she can do this. I can do this. And I think that's where I'm getting my self-love, is just me loving me, being naked. I love being naked. And I will lay out naked in my backyard first. Like, okay, I won't lay there for hours, but I would if I could, if I wasn't going to get skin cancer. But I love laying out naked. That makes me happy. And like, like, I think it would be really fun to like paint my body and put it on a canvas, because that would get me going. I'd be going home being like, hell yeah, I did that. That was sexy. I can't wait to put this up. Like, I'm going to look at this every day. That to me is what makes me tap in.
Yeah.
It's me just loving me, looking at myself in the mirror for the first time and really loving what I'm looking at feels great. Like, it makes me like, yeah, I would hit that. Like, she's hot. Okay, it's me. I am going to hit that. I went on a little date by myself.
I love it. And this is like such a huge part of like what we're missing, like in like content that like needs to be put out there. It's like that confidence, it comes like at any size, at any age, like you literally show up as yourself and you embody that, and you're just like unstoppable. Like, who cares about all the shit that people are saying? It's like, that's on them. They're literally projecting their own shit onto you. And it's like, that's your life. That's your hatred that you're putting like out there in the world. So imagine like more people just embracing themselves as like who they are right now, not like, oh, when I lose this weight, then I will travel, or when I am rich, then I will, go in.
When I retire, I'll go travel. And that's like, no, I'm not waiting that long. We're traveling now.
Right?
We're not waiting. And I think that's another you're right. It's a big thing. It's like, why are we waiting? We're wasting our time by trying to, again, like what the girl was saying, the diets and the this and the that, and to look this way, because society is telling us to be this hourglass thing. And I have an hourglass. I just have a couple of more extra rolls, and that makes me cool. Like, but accepting that and putting that out in there into the world that we live in now, because we don't see enough of it. And honestly, that's why that one girl kind of popped out to me, because she was breaking the cycle. She was breaking it, like literally breaking it by herself. And I was like, dang, she is like, yes. And I feel the same about you. Like, you're breaking that stigma. Like, let's talk about it. Let's be raw. Let's be real. Like, this is what this is. And I feel like there's a lot of us out there. We need to come together more.
Yeah.
Because I agree. There's so much. And why wait? Why wait? Why are we wasting time?
And ultimately, like, that group is going to just like enhance each other's voices. Like, there's
100.
there's no reason why we need to fit someone else's criteria of who we should be if like ultimately we're feeling ourselves in our present. And
Yep.
I think that that's also why like I created like, the sensual canvas. It's because like, what is sensuality? It's like presence in your body.
Yep.
It's like if you
Feeling
come back to your body and you're feeling and you're coming back to that presence, it's like you tap into something that you're numb to.
Mhm.
Oh, that's powerful. That you're numb to,
Speak the truth.
And it's like I think that there's so many people out there that are like, "Oh, I have to be this way or I have to, all these things." And it's like, no, you just have to settle into yourself.
Mhm.
Like, go out in the garden and just stand naked. Like, like
Mhm.
I don't know, like there's so many different ways that we can just like feel into ourselves.
I
Like
agree.
even just like with like caressing like our skin and just like gently like touching ourselves and like how does that make us feel? Like, does it have a sensation in our body? So
Mhm.
it makes me really excited for these workshops that I like. I'm going to host them. I promise you. They're
I'm
under
so
the works.
excited.
Like,
I'm first on the list.
I at least have one person.
Yay. No, there's gonna be so many. I'm so excited.
I like I've been connecting with these different types of, people in their own crafts.
Mhm.
And I'm in the middle of talking to someone who does sound baths. It's a mother-daughter duo. So
Oh, good.
I'm getting so excited about, holding space with them. And while they do their sound bath, like just meditation around us, we'll just be doing like this beautiful, expansive art workshop.
I love that.
So yeah, I'm getting so psyched.
Yay. Okay.
You got a little insight today into what's
Teaser.
going
I got a
on
little teaser.
behind the scenes.
I'm
Wow.
excited. I can't wait. And this was really fun. I'm glad you're doing this. I'm really proud of you.
Thank you.
Speak your truth.
Thank you. You too. Like, let's just like make
You're
this
bringing
like
it
a
out of
regular
me.
thing. Like,
Yes.
you hear that person closing up, be like, what do you really want to say? Like,
Yes.
what do you really want to tell me?
Say it. Just put it out there.
Exactly. Tyler, thank you so much for joining me and having this open conversation. And I know that this is the beginning of just many more and and attracting many more people to us and in our spaces. So
Yeah.
thank you so much.
No, thank you. This was awesome. Thank you.
Thank you so much to the incredible Tyler Madonna for coming on to the Central Canvas to talk so openly about her own sensuality, her own creativity, and how she just creates those raw stories. And if you're interested in following her work, if you're interested in getting to know her, I'll definitely be putting her info into the description. Connect. She's an incredible person. And if you're looking for that person to talk to about, what it's like raising twins in this day and age, she knows. She's got two boys. And so yeah, it was really wonderful having her on and just talking so openly about that. So I appreciate everyone out there that is tuning in, listening. And if any of this is speaking to you and you're feeling called to, start your own creative journeys, I am, you know, message me. I'm excited to see your work. I'm excited to see what you're creating and how you're tapping into your sensuality. I love to gravitate towards these types of conversations openly and very gingerly. So please, like, if you're, feeling called to connect, connect. All my information is down below. If you want to check out my journey, I'm always putting out all kinds of art. So, yeah, please don't be a stranger. Come in and talk and chat and connect with these different people because they're incredible individuals just finding their way towards their self-expression, their creativity, and we're all sensual beings. So thank you so much for being here, and I look forward to the next one.